What made the weird kid at your school weird? 1. He shit himself regularly. Deliberately. Man, what a power move. I respect that. 2. He walked around like Master Chief. Even teabagged the ground randomly, all while holding an invisible assault rifle. 3. He truly thought he was a dirt bike. He would run through the halls jumping off of lockers and make the shifting gears noises with his mouth. Absolute mad lad. 4. He always carried around a briefcase, but never opened it. Sat on the briefcase during lunch, classes, etc. It was like the nuclear football, always in his hand or he was sitting on it. He carried it onto the stage during graduation, got his diploma. Right as he was leaving the stage, he opened it up and dumped a bunch of confetti on the principal. I guess it was the long con. No one questioned why he was carrying it on stage. Okay, if that was the real reason he brought it, the kid is epic. 5. He would have full conversations, arguments, and sometimes physical altercations with a brick column in the middle of the cafeteria. Who usually won? I don't think anyone won those. They usually made up though, as they would chat like normal the next day. 6. He was on a hair trigger, would snap and threaten people. Suspended multiple times. 2 memorable incidents were when we freaked out at an art teacher, went to his locker and came back with a bullwhip. He made that thing snap and sent everyone running. She barricaded herself in the supply room. Another time someone made the mistake of teasing him about something and everyone laughed, and he pulled a knife and screamed, "Who wants to be the first to die?" He was expelled and I'm not sure what became of him. Imagine sitting in class thinking the weird kid is gonna retrieve his gun but instead brings a ducking bullwhip. 7. In high school we had a kid that wore his pants up to his nipples, so he was called Pants all through high school. He was very strange. Got way too close to people, purposely liked to slowly touch people, and creep them out. Always walked around on his tiptoes for some reason. In grade 12 he tried to poison someone just to see how it felt. 2 years after high school he got put in jail for killing a hooker. Edit. Didn't realize so many people from my hometown are on Reddit. LOL. But yes, for everyone asking, the posted links are the right kid, as I had confirmed that with a couple comments. We actually called him Johnny Pants, but since so many people recognized him, no point trying to keep it hidden. 8. There was a kid at my high school who never talked. It wasn't that he couldn't speak, or that he only spoke to his close friends. He just wouldn't speak to anyone. Teachers didn't call on him because they knew he didn't talk. When a substitute would come in and try to call on him, there was always some kid who would have to explain, "Ricky doesn't talk." If you asked him a question he would just look at you. It was weird and some people would take offense to his silence. But eventually everyone realized that was just his thing and rolled with it. The only time he spoke was when we had to present individually in class. On those days people would get really excited if they had a class with him because hearing him talk was like seeing a unicorn. Edit. A lot of people have mentioned this possibly being a case of selective mutism. I looked up the diagnosis and it seems like a good match. There were also rumors from kids who rode the bus with him who said that once he got off the bus, he would meet up with his neighborhood friends and, presumably, talk to them. When he did present in class he didn't have a weird voice or any strange vocal qualities. Edit 2. Oh wow, this really took off. I never thought my most influential comment would be about Ricky, haha. Thank you for giving me my first ever Reddit silver. I really appreciate it. A lot of people have asked me if they knew Ricky. I will tell you that I went to school in Kentucky and I graduated in 2013. If I give any more information publicly I would feel like I'm violating his privacy, and that's not cool. If you still think you know him, I'll continue to respond to private messages and confirm or deny your guess. I have also been asked to add a link to our selective mutism for anyone who wants to find a supportive community of other people like Ricky. 9. Weird. I didn't have any weird kids in school. Oh no. 10. He wrote his crush's name on the wall in the bathroom, with his own shit. They caught him brown-handed. Also would freak out if someone said werewolf. Caught him brown-handed. Beautiful. 11. He was always running around in the shape of a 8. If you just said hello to him he started screeching and attacked you with his lunchbox, and once he ate a Kit Kat with a plastic. 12. She was afraid of cows and if you said moo or mentioned cows she'd freak out and attack you. I'll give it to her though, she'd even try to attack guys 3 times her size that were athletes. Sounds like she was milking it. 13. In 8th grade, this girl used to finger herself in class. She wasn't good at hiding it, hands under a hoodie in her lap, and we all noticed the room would start to smell. Bad. Edit. Had a few similar questions, comments, and my inbox is a mess, so I'll answer them here. 1. Did we go to school together? Sounds like a lot of you have had similar experiences. I'm not giving the school name or anything, but I will say this happened in Maryland around 2002-03. 2. Was she hot? Irrelevant to the real point of this post, but no, she was not an attractive person to me. 3. I was unaware this was a sign of sexual abuse. I cannot deny or confirm if that was a thing. I only know what happened in class. I hope this wasn't the case. She was a very reclusive individual and didn't have many friends. Thanks for the conversation and insight, folks. Kid in my class would jerk off. You would hear him grunt and then wipe his hands on his desk. Edit. It would be rubbed on top of the desk, let dry, then rubbed some more to peel off. He licked his hands once after. It happened multiple times. Grade 5. Teachers saw. One girl did say something to the teacher but nothing happened. 1999 was a weird time. There was a confession post I read a while back about how someone jerked off in class to this chick in front of him, then wiped it all over the desk underneath. Claims he did it discreetly and no one knew. Bullshit. They knew, they just didn't wanna ducking say anything. Maybe he was your classmate. 14. There is a kid at my school and he can put his laptop down, eating lunch, on his laptop, as soon as he finishes a test, on his laptop. And we were all wondering what he could put his laptop down for. So one kid asked him. He was designing Minecraft skins and watching Minecraft videos. What a legend. A future CEO. 15. I was in year 10 when he came up from primary school. I don't know what was wrong with him, but he'd always pretend to be a train and chug along through the quad. People would chuckle as he went past, but he didn't care. Him and his other weird mate would just scoot on by minding their own business. When I was in year 11, one of the scratter kids, a proper mong, through and through, blocked his tracks and took the mick out of him. A group of us shoved him out of the way and berated him for it and encouraged train boy to go on his way. Ours wasn't the best school in the district, but goddamn, at least the trains ran on time. 16. His go-to excuse for not having homework finished was that he was traveling, even though he was at every class, and he never paid attention to anything but his fidget spinner unless he was talking. The way he spoke, he knew everything there was about creative writing, yet his submissions consisted of plots ripped off directly from anime. This was in a college class. I don't think you understood him. When he said traveling, he meant through time. He keeps going back to the past, writing great stories to submit for class, and before he returns to the present he trips over an uneven brick and his original story flies out of his hand and is found by a Japanese man who turns it into an anime. Probably. Homie. This sounds like an anime plot. 17. I went to high school with the Wolf kid from the meme, on all levels except physical. I am a wolf. Next image is him barking at the water. He called himself Wolfie, so I would say that guy. 18. He would talk to himself and sit in the hallways reciting as many digits of pi as he could. He was a small harmless kid that everyone treated well because he was endearingly weird, if that makes sense. Then he murdered a girl immediately after graduation and hid her body in his bathtub. Edit. For the people interested in more or who think I'm lying, the kid's name was Jonathan Townsend. There's a lot more to the story. I didn't think many people would be this interested. There's a few news articles to look at just by googling his name, but this one does a good job of explaining how nice he was at school versus how evil he was at home. https://Thualrus. How Canada's healthcare system helped create a killer. I was rooting for him in the first half. It went from 0 to 100 real quick. 19. I had a girl hiss at me in 5th grade. Hadn't seen her in about 16 years. Recently went to a party she was attending. She asked if I remembered her and said boy howdy. ? She hissed again. I always knew she was weird. 20. Mustard boy. I'll never forget him. He would cover his lunch tray in mustard. Chicken nuggets? Mustard. Mexican pizza? Mustard. Breakfast for lunch? Mustard. It didn't matter what it was, he would drench it in mustard. He wasn't doing it just to make a mess of his lunch tray, he always finished his mustard food. Edit. Mexican pizza was a hexagon-shaped pizza with sausage and shredded taco seasoned cheese on top. It wasn't at all Mexican, but that's what it was called. So what exactly made him the weird kid? Seems perfectly normal. Edit. Thanks for giving me a Reddit award to match my mustard. 21. They thought they were an immortal vampire and walked around talking and acting the part. 22. She carried a stuffed rabbit everywhere, only wore leggings, and constantly propositioned people to have a threesome with her and her boyfriend. Edit. She wore leggings as pants, and this was before that became a trend. 23. I had a locker above his and he always yelled something stupid. The most common phrase was "I got balls in my face." He also somehow brought koala poop to the school. Edit. There was a possibility that it really wasn't koala poop, but it was